Ciao ragazzi, we are back this time with our top 5 takeaways from the European nights. That's right, we're here to talk about the Italian clubs in Europe, both Champions League and Europa League. So these are our top 5 takeaways. Take it away. Now, these 5 takeaways are in no particular order. We're just going to hit them off one by one. First off, coming number 1, Juventus doing what they normally do, winning away, winning in Europe, 2-0, a great victory there, or a good victory, I should say. Going to Ukraine is never easy. Ask anybody who's ever gone there, either to Dynamo Kiev, Shakhtar Donetsk, ask Real Madrid about that. It doesn't matter where you go in Ukraine, it's very difficult. It's always going to be a difficult game for Juventus. It was never going to be an easy victory, and though Kiev played a little sloppy and Juventus didn't have their strongest lineup, they still found a way to win. 2-0 was the victory. Alvaro Morata got both goals in that game, so a nice away victory by the Bianconeri. Solid way to start off the group stage. Takeaway number 2, sticking with the Champions League theme, Atalanta, after they got battered by Napoli on the weekend. Many wonder, were they overlooking Napoli to try to get the Champions League to start off on the right foot? The answer would be emphatically yes. They also won a rather comfortable victory, an expected victory. They won 4-0. They had their star-studded lineup out there, and scoring 4 goals against Michelin was always probably on the cards. Pretty much everyone predicted they were going to score 4 goals. Many wondered whether they're going to concede any or not, but they did not. 4-0 victory for Atalanta. They get off to a much better start in this campaign for Champions League than they did last year. And ultimately, I think that was the goal. Considering this is a tough group with Ajax and Liverpool, so great way for Atalanta to start, and Serie going 2 for 2 so far in our takeaways. Takeaway number 3, we're going to shift to Europa League. Another expected victory, this time by Roma. Roma coming out with a very B or C lineup, very weak lineup. Borja Mayoral starting up at the striker position. Very much a B squad for Roma. This is a little bit more difficult than they expected. It was always going to be a tight game for them, but going down 1-0 early, and that lead probably stayed there for a good chunk of the game. Finally, Roma kicked it on late in the game to get 2 goals, so they get a nice win on the road, 2-1. So they get off to their campaign with a good start. But again, an expected victory, maybe a little closer than people expected, but they get the result nonetheless, and they got 3 points, and that's a great way to start. Takeaway number 4, we're going to go to the Milan clubs. Now we're talking about Champions League and Europa League. Inter had to play Gladbach at home. Very difficult fixture there, and AC Milan had to travel to Celtic Park to play, where Celtic is usually very good at home. Both teams were expected to have struggles in close games, which they both did. Inter, it was always going to be tough against Gladbach, and the question is, were they going to respect Gladbach enough to make it a close game or easy victory? They gave Gladbach a little bit too much room, and Gladbach was able to score some goals. Had the 2-1 lead late, and it was luckily to Romelu Lukaku gets the tying goal, makes it 2-2. Again, coming up big for Inter in big games. So shedding away that not a big game player, because he certainly has when he's been with Inter. So 2-2, they escaped away with 1 point in their first game, and then AC Milan in the same breath. It started out very well in the game, 2-0 lead going into halftime, but they come out looking very sloppy. Celtic made a bunch of changes, went to forward to back, and that really kind of changed the dynamics of the game. They scored a goal. Yanasi got a goal, made it 2-1. I predicted it was going to be a 2-1 game. I thought it was going to be very close because Celtic do play a tight game despite their 2-0 loss in the derby to Rangers in the Old Firm game. This was a struggle for Milan. It looked like they were going to barely eke out this 2-1 victory. Luckily for them, Jans-Peter Haug scored a goal late in the game. I'm talking about late in the 89th minute to make it 3-1. So really a narrow victory for Milan. They get 3 points, a great way for them to start the league. But both Milan clubs found it very difficult in their opening matches. Both have fairly difficult groups. Inter obviously much more difficult than Milan's group, but it's nothing to. If Milan need to pay attention to their group, because they can easily get beat by any of the teams in their group. They just have to focus, and they should be able to win out. But that's takeaway number 4. Takeaway number 5 is the WTF moment of both Champions League and Europa League. First, we'll start with the bad. Napoli, after an emphatic 4-1 victory against everyone's darlings, Atalanta, Everyone thought they would go to Alkmaar and get a comfortable win there. Not so much the case. Obviously, a lot of worries before the game. 13 positive COVID tests for Alkmaar players before the game. They had enough players to field a starting team, so the game went on as planned. Maybe that's why Napoli didn't play. They were very worried about how that would unfold. I don't know. Alkmaar played them very well. Got a goal. They got away with a 1-0 victory. Not many people saw that coming. I would bet not many people in the Netherlands saw that score coming. So a very shock losing 3 points in that first game for Napoli. It's still a very winnable group. They should be able to and win the group fine, but not the best way of starts. You can ask Atalanta about having difficult starts. It's a very hard hill to climb to get back up to the top, but not the way they want to start. On the flip side, though, a team that many thought would lose their opening match, it was Lazio against Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund with a high-flying attack of Gio Reyna and Erling Haaland. Lazio has been playing inconsistent so far this season. After a nice win in the beginning of the season against Cagliari, they got battered by Sampdoria recently. They got battered by Atalanta early in the season. And so many wondered how they would shape up. And they've historically done poorly in European competitions. So what was going to happen? Well, they fielded a very strong lineup in this one. Immobile got the start in this one, and my goodness, he got revenge against his former team, scoring a goal against his former club. And Lazio 3-1 victories against Dortmund. I mean, the tactics by Inzaghi in this one was fantastic. Was it the best performance? No, but really, Dortmund also, they didn't take the opportunity to exploit the wingbacks as that some of the teams did so far this season in Serie A, trying to play down the middle, which kind of fed to Lazio's strengths, and Lazio were able to get some timely goals. They were clinical on their finishes, and that's the important thing for them. They got off to a flying start in their group, which is very important because they need that kind of momentum to get going because, like I said, historically they've not played well, but this is a fantastic way to begin the group stages. 3 points against a team that is very good, who's probably going to be one of the teams more likely coming out of this group. So great head-to-head now against Dortmund, and things are looking up for Lazio and Napoli. We'll see what happens with them, but that's our 5 takeaways from the European nights with the Italian teams. What did you think of the top 5 takeaways? Did you have other takeaways of yourself? Let us know in the comments below. As always, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, leave comments. It'd be very much appreciated. You can follow our podcast anywhere that streams music. SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, you name it, we're there. So check it out. And as always, if you're not catching us on the podcast waves, you're going to catch us here on YouTube. So until the next time, ragazzi, make sure you tell your paisans about us. Ciao.